Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome to a live stream about suicide prevention. Well, I am Niza Shaheen and I'm a Pakistani and being a Pakistani, I think that I know a lot about uh, having a suicide thought, having those thoughts in your mind that my life is worthless, I cannot keep on living like this, etc. Maham Khalid joined. Thank you, Maham. This was not a planned live session. This was not something that I had planned before. So I'm not expecting much of the audience in the live session, but I am expecting people to see afterwards, because in this live session is going to be a very bombastic confession. Yes, I'm going to confess something today, and I really wanted to do it for a long time. If you may, Maham, you can share this live session with others so that maybe if people want to join, they can join, and if they don't, I really don't care. I'm good, Maham. I'm really fine. Thank you for asking. I hope you are good too. आप भी ठीक होंगी. So this session is about suicide prevention. For the last few days, the hype was on because it was Suicide Prevention Day all over the world. And whenever a day comes like that, for example, it's a mental health day, it's a suicide prevention day, it's a resolution day, it's a defense day, or whatever the day is, the hype goes really up and the skills are really high at that time, and everybody's talking about, and it's a trend, and everybody is trying to cash that trend. That is the main thing. I mean, no matter which forum it is, no matter what link it is, everybody is trying to cash that day. Everybody is trying to get into that trend. And well, I was not sure that I wanted to get into the trend and I wanted to talk about it up until today, and until an hour ago, when I was sitting vacantly and I was thinking about something, and something flashed up on in my mind. And I recently had a client from Taiwan, actually. Not from, he was a Pakistani. Basically, he was a Pakistani male, but he was living in Taiwan for a long time, and he shared something with me that somehow crept into my mind, that somehow came into my mind quite recently. An hour ago, I was thinking about it, and at that point, I thought to myself, this is a topic that I don't know, I should be talking about. Why? Because there are so many kids, there are so many people who know me in real life, and who are inspired by me. This is what they say. This is not what I am saying about myself. This is something that I hear a lot, that we are inspired by you because there are so many reasons to be inspired of. Obviously, I mean, I'm not bragging or anything, but I am proud of myself, and I am proud of whatever I have achieved in my life, and wherever I'm standing today, I'm proud of all of that. I was from a feudal family. I was from a family that did not know about higher education, and even if it knew about higher education, nobody bothered to get one. I was from a family at my age, at my time, I was the only one who was actually aiming for higher education. None of my cousins have ever gone to a university. My brothers didn't go to university, although later on they did acquire more knowledge and education. But that time, at that time, it was not a trend in my family, you can say. It was more of a feudal family. So Khan S.A. Khan joined. Thank you so much for joining. I will pray for you, Maham. Thank you for your comment. I will pray for you, and I do pray for all the people who ask me and all the people who know me, because I have this strong belief that whenever you are praying for someone, angels pray that same pray for you. I mean, whatever you are making dua for others, that same dua is being made for you by the angels. And obviously, angels are better than us in so many ways, and angels, when they pray for us, that would count a lot more than us praying for ourselves and others. So, thank you, Kinza, for joining. So today was about suicide and suicidal thoughts. We can talk about psychological factors. We can talk about how psychology comes in play with all these thoughts and all these everything that goes on and everything what happens when a person talks about suicide and when a person thinks about committing a suicide. You see, if you hear a person who is almost, you can say 300 kgs or 200 kgs or 150 kgs of weight, a person who is really obese, if that person talks to you about not gaining weight and staying healthy and eating healthy and staying in shape, obviously you would laugh at that person. Anybody would laugh at that person because that person is not the example of what they are saying. But when a person who is healthy, who is in a good shape, talks about being in a good shape, everybody would listen. That is the automaticity of this. That is how things go on in life. That is how we listen to people. We listen to those people we consider credentiable, we consider trustworthy. So sitting here, I want to talk about suicide because this is the big confession moment. This is the big moment that there was a time in my life that I was thinking about suicide myself, and being there, I didn't commit it, I didn't go for it, I didn't actually try to do it, but there was a time when I could feel that I might do it. There was a time when I felt that there is soon going to be an action taken by me which will be suicidal. Now, when we talk about suicidal people, when we talk about people committing suicide, there are different agendas, there are different groups that are divided in different concepts relating to suicide. There is a whole perspective, there is a whole group of people who have perspective that only those people who do not have proper faith commit suicide. It does not have anything to do with faith. Trust me on this. When a person is traumatized to a limit, to a level, when a person is going through so much shit in their life, so much is going on in their life that they cannot think straight, that they are not looking for ways to go out because they are so hopeless and they have come to a conclusion that there is no way out of this situation, this current situation, is the point where they try to commit suicide. A person who commits suicide is actually, I'm going on a contrary to the normal concepts here, but is actually very brave, because coming to a point and realizing that you can take your own life is actually takes a lot of nerve, because once you are standing there on edge of that bridge and you are about to jump off that bridge, once you are standing on that chair and your neck is with that rope on the fan and you're standing there, you've realized that this is it, this is the last moment. Nobody has actual power or actual stamina to do the next thing, only those who are truly and utterly hopeless, only those who think that nothing can be worse than the life they are in, takes their life. A person who thinks that this is the limit, it cannot go any more bad than this, it cannot go worse than this, takes their life, because they are standing at that verge, at that limit. Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. They have had so much with life, their stamina is on the urge of it. They feel that this is the point and my life doesn't matter. I'm living this life which is totally bizarre. I am going through so much in my life and nobody cares. At that point, they take the decision of committing suicide. बिल्कुल सही कह रही हैं आप माहम. बर्दाश्त की भी एक हद होती है. जब एक पर्सन आपको कॉन्टिन्यूसली फिजिकली एंड मेंटली टॉर्चर कर रहा हो तो फिर यही थॉट्स आते हैं. बिल्कुल, आप बिल्कुल सही कह रहे हैं माहम. This is what I'm talking about. A person who is standing on the verge of, you can say on the edge of a mountain. The mountain is of emotional pain. He is standing at the edge of an emotional pain that is jumbled up into a huge mountain. The person feels that jumping off that edge would be better than staying on there. That is when a person thinks of committing suicide. Thank you Ikra for joining. Thank you Mehak Fatma for joining. So this is the point I was trying to talk about. suicide attempts are basically from people who are feeling hopeless, who feel that nothing can be worse than the life that they are living. And at this point, trust me, 90% of such people, or you can say 99.9% of such people, feel that their life is worthless and nobody cares about their being. So, this is the point where they need a friend. Now, this is again a very funny phenomena. We search for friends. Our whole life, we try to be with people, you know, we try to make friends, we try to take pride in friends. We proudly say, this is my friend, she's a doctor, this is my friend, she is this is my friend, she is this is my friend, she is this. We take pride in introducing people who are related to us. Our whole life we search for people. We talk about our mother, father, we take pride in talking about our family, we take pride in talking about our friends. But the reality is that at the end of the day, we are the only one we have. I mean, look at me. When I was young, when I was in school, I was in Fazaya inter college, from prep class to 8th class, and from 9th to 2nd year, that is in high school, I was in Army Public School, and after that I was in government college, after that I was in Mutual University, after that I was in Ilham Iqbal Open University, after that I was in UMT. So I have changed so many schools and colleges, I have been through so many different platforms, and I have made so many friends. I mean, I was the one child in school everybody knew me. Everybody exchanged greetings with me. Every time I went anywhere, my close friends would get bothered by it. As a matter of fact, I had a very close friend in school. Her name was Hajra, and in college, her name was Samia, and I used to call her Sam. So they both used to get bothered by the amount of people who would talk to me during the day. And I remember being proud of that. I remember I was very proud of being the school attention, the girl who had many friends. But when it actually comes down to it, when you actually need a friend, how many people stand by with you? Do you have people who would stand by with you when you are actually in a very difficult situation? Do you? Then what is the solution to that? I mean, if at point in life you are devastated and you have no one to talk to, you feel that if you tell your problems to anyone, either they would make fun of it or they would not understand. Simply they would not understand. And your problem is way huge than people think. At that point, obviously a person would think about, okay, fine, if this life is that worthless, if there is no one who cares about me, if my life is going like hell, then why should I keep living? Right? There is an Urdu poem about it, and the poet says that actually the verse was related to this, but I don't want to say it right now. I'll save it for the end. Anyhow, so there are so many questions, so many things that come to our mind when we talk about suicide. And the funny thing is, the stereotypical thing is that everybody thinks about it once in their lifetime. You know, committing suicide, or think about suicide for that matter, because it's a topic that's talked a lot about, and still it's a topic that's so well hidden. I mean, we talk about it and still it's hidden because it has been stereotyped. Whenever some person talks to you about committing suicide, you would say, stop being such a drama queen, stop being such a drama king, stop being such a coward. I mean, you are talking about suicide, you must be a coward. Now, this is the kind of criticism that take them to that edge. When a person talks to you about suicide, when a person even remorselessly talks about death, be alert. It's very important to be alert at that time, because they are telling you what's going on in their mind, what's there is something bothering them, and you need to know what's bothering them. ओके माहम सेज नो मैम, कोई भी नहीं होता साथ, अभी मैं बीमार हुई हूँ, हॉस्पिटलाइज्ड रह कर आई हूँ, अल्लाह जी आपको सेहत दे। किसी फ्रेंड ने फ़ोन तो दूर मैसेज भी नहीं किया, और जब उनको मेरी ज़रूरत होती है मैं उनको हमेशा ख्याल रखा, बट ऐसे ही होता है माहम। मुझे बहुत दुख हुआ और सब यही कहते कि तुम ड्रामा कर रही। एक्चुअली ऐसे ही होता है, अनफॉर्चुनेटली दिस इज़ व्हाट हैपन्स। Unfortunately, in our society, specifically in our society, whenever somebody talks about having suicidal thoughts, whenever somebody talks about having issues, we think that they are drama queen. We think that they cannot handle a little pain. हम क्या करते हैं कि हम उस बंदे को मज़ीद पेन दे रहे होते हैं by being criticizing. The person mostly people talk to in such situations criticize them, especially the family, close ones. How can you be such a drama queen? How can you think of that like that? You have such a perfect life. Look at you. Now, we come to a very important point. Perfect life. हम दुनिया को हमेशा वो ज़िंदगी दिखाते हैं जो परफेक्ट ही है, क्योंकि हम अपनी वल्नरेबिलिटीज़, अपनी कमज़ोरियाँ दिखाना नहीं चाहते, क्योंकि we know we won't get accepted. We don't want to show our vulnerabilities because we know our vulnerabilities won't be accepted, and we'd be made fun of that. We'd be made fun of that. Fun of our weaknesses, fun of our stupidity, because people would think that it's stupid to be sad, that is stupid to be depressed. You don't have anything to be depressed about unless your legs are broken, unless your backbone is gone, unless there is such a big tragedy that the whole world can see, your house has been on fire. Still, you don't have the right to say that your life is awful. I mean, look at other people. They have the more traumatized lives. They have the more tragic lives. Of course, everybody has tragedies. Everybody, every single person on this earth has seen tragedy, has been traumatized. That is the point, people. Why are we comparing our traumas? Why are we even comparing it? Why are we even saying that their life is worse, your life is better than that, his trauma is better, your trauma is lesser? Why? Every person who faces a trauma, every person who faces any kind of trauma is big for them, because it's in their life, it's their trauma. You cannot compare traumas, you cannot compare tragedies. Stop saying to people that your trauma it's nothing. Look at that person, he's been more traumatized and he's still living. How can you think about suicide? The shoe might hurt me more than it had hurt any other person. I am wearing that shoe, it might be aching my foot. Nobody else knows about that ache, that pain. The wild feminine, thank you for joining, welcome. Okay, Maham says, yes ma'am, relatives का ज़्यादा दुख होता है, especially जिनसे हमें कोई उम्मीद होती है. Exactly, expectations. Expectations lead us to disappointments, and disappointments lead us to depression. Unfortunately, it happens a lot, and unfortunately, it happens more often than we think about it. When a person comes to thinking about suicide, it's one of the reasons because they've expected people to understand them, to understand their pain, and yet nobody understands their pain, and that is more painful than the pain, if you know what I mean. I mean, you go to a doctor, say for example, you have this doctor in your family, say for example he is an ENT specialist, eyes, nose and throat specialist, and you go to him and you've been having some ache in your right or left eye, and you go to them and you tell them, I've been having this ache, I've been having this pain in my eye, and they just look at you and they say, stop being so dramatic. I mean, I've just seen a patient, her eye was bleeding. Your eye looks fine. Just go home, take some rest, you'll be better tomorrow. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? This is how people treat people in Pakistan. Welcome to Pakistan. This is how we treat others' traumas. Unfortunately, this is the method of treating traumas over here. I mean, look at her. Her eyes was worse. Your eye, it seems fine. Don't be over dramatic. That is not the way. You are sitting in a society that needs to be changed, and you're talking about change and doing nothing, just speaking. You know, there is a reason they say actions speak louder than words. There's a reason for that. For me, I can say that I can proudly say that I have been a free therapist for all my friends all my life. No matter what they were suffering from, no matter how long they talked to me about that suffering, no matter how much time I gave them, and no matter today they are not standing with me. A lot of those friends that I gave my time to, my precious time to, are not standing with me today. But I am proud of myself for giving them that time, because I know at that time of vulnerability, if I had not been there for them, the things would have been worse for them. But yes, when my time came, when I was in despair, in the depths of my despair, I felt, I felt that numbness, I felt that loneliness, I felt that there is no one standing right beside me. I have family, I have parents, I have brothers, I have a sister, I have a niece, I have nephews, and niece is almost my age. We could have been best friends, but still, life can be difficult, people. Life is not all roses and garden and greenery. Life is not what they show you on this Instagram or on social media anywhere. Life is totally opposite to that. Right now, you are looking at me, you are sitting on the other side of the camera, and you're looking at me and you're looking at this perfect picture. I'm perfectly well dressed and I'm looking fine. I've just put on makeup for this session, and not only for this session, I was feeling like it, so I did it. Otherwise, I would have come without the makeup as well. But what you cannot see is the mess that is right over here on this hand chair, the mess that my kids made. You are not seeing that below this shirt I might be wearing a shalwar, a Pakistani dress, which is not matching to the shirt in any ways. I mean, that's what's hidden. That's what social media is all about. The ugly parts are hidden and the beautiful parts are shown. So don't compare your life with those beautiful parts. They're not reality. You know, okay, let's see what Maham is saying. Then we'll move further. Yes ma'am, before I'm suffering from COVID, मैं अपनी फैमिली डॉक्टर के पास गई. वो मेरी मदर का कज़न है. मेरी लेग्स में बहुत पेन थी तो मुझसे बर्दाश्त नहीं हो रहा था. जब मैं उनके पास गई तो कहता कुछ नहीं हुआ, लोगों को टांग टूट जाती है. Exactly ma'am, this is what I'm saying. What we do in Pakistan, unfortunately, and now you're talking about a surgeon. A surgeon said to you that this pain is nothing. People actually break off their legs. Yes, people break off their legs, and I sympathize with them. I empathize with them. Everybody has their own trauma. Everybody has their own pain. That's what I'm talking about. That's what needs to end. We need to stop comparing even the traumas. We compare even traumas. That his trauma is bigger, his trauma is less. So let's just sympathize or empathize with that person more and just ignore this one a little. No, this person on this side has been traumatized. No matter what the level was, he or she has been traumatized. They equally need your attention, your love, your affection, as well as that person. Both of them need it, because both of them have been aching. Both of them have their own pains. And yes, it creates depression, Maham. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, in Pakistan, or if we look at the world today, everything is about money making. I mean, I started a channel, and my channel is about psychology, about topics of psychology, and I started in 2016. That was the year I started. But at that time, I didn't talk about psychology much. The topic was there, but I would use it very less. As the time passed, I met few people and I thought that no, we need to talk. The people who can talk should talk and must talk. The people who have power must use their power for good. I'm on that channel. I hardly have 60 followers, but it doesn't matter. Even if a single person listens to me and tries to change something, that is a win-win situation for me. I mean, even if I'm having this live session, I didn't make a poster for it. Although I'm very good at making flyers and posters, and I always do that for others as well, not only for myself. But today I didn't make any because it is an unplanned session. It is something that I was not planning to have. This is a conversation I was not planning to have. This is not scripted. This is not something thought about, or scripted, or well versed. This is something that is coming to me, and this is something that I'm talking about because this needs to be talked about. This is the time when somebody does something about things. There is so much going on in the world with COVID, with the fires, with storms. Every natural disaster is there, and still we humans are the biggest disasters on this earth right now. Alas, I'm sorry, I'm ashamed to be a human at this time because we are so self oriented, so selfish. I've been with different platforms, and every platform encapsulates themselves in this phenomena that they are trying to work for the best of humans, while in reality they are just trying to make money. It's good to have some coins in your hand when you're doing some good chore, but they are taking it all wrong. They are taking the coins first, and they're thinking about the coins first, and then about humanity, and in front they're talking about working for humanity first. I wonder, and sometimes I really, really do wonder, that if Satan is actually behind it, or we are just Satans ourselves. These are the things. They say that every day in Pakistan, 15 to 20 people commit suicide. That's huge. That's a big rate. And that's only suicide rate. Do not get me started on rape, on the amount of pedophilism, on the amount of other hideous crimes that are going on. We're talking about suicide. We're talking about taking a person's own life, getting them to that point where they think that their death will be better than this life. Even if they suffer after death, that won't matter because this suffering is greater. How? And in Pakistan, we have this culture where families stick together, no matter what. We gather around for marriages, we gather around for death and funerals, and we stick together. And yet, every day, 15 to 20 people commit suicide. Why? If we are actually there with each other, if we are actually supporting each other, then why is this suicide rate actually increasing? There are some reports though on Google that says that since 2018 the suicide rate has not increased, but of course there are others that say that it is increasing day by day, and mostly, well, this should not be a shock, but mostly suicide attempts in Pakistan are made by students. Whoa, devastated my life in such young age? Why? Now, at this point, some people will say that they simply can't handle pressure. Well, I question the parents. Why didn't you make them strong enough? We emphasize on being clean, we emphasize on being neat, we emphasize on being proper according to the society to our kids, on our kids. We pressurize our kids to be perfect kids, have perfect mannerisms, say salam, sit properly, do not eat at someone else's house, take a bath every day, brush your teeth every day. Okay, fine, these are hygienic things and they must be taught. But what about be strong? What about telling our kids to be strong? What about telling our kids that we are here for you, no matter what? If you're feeling down, if you're feeling depressed or sad, I'm here for you. What about that? Have you ever heard of such sentences from your parents? I haven't. The basic problem in our society is that we teach our children to be fully mannered, good mannerism, talk in a low voice, talk like this, sit like this, stand like this, eat like this. But we don't tell them, be strong like this. You need to be strong. Life is going to be awful. there is a lot of shit going to happen to you in this life. There is so much good, there will be so much, there will be so many tests, you will be tested in every step, you will be tested in every way. We tell them the opposite to that. We tell them to not come to us. We stay so strict with our children that they actually feel that there is no point going to their parent about an issue. That is the problem in our society. That is what is taking the suicide attempts to a higher level. What are we doing on our behalf? I mean, I was not doing anything up until an hour ago. I was just sitting and I was going through all these news and all these different people's webinars and sessions and different attempts, and suddenly I thought about myself. What am I doing? Am I doing anything? And that question led me here. I'm sitting here without preparation, talking to you people because I felt that yes, we need to talk about it. There is an ample need for this conversation to happen, because I need to tell you, I stood at that point at one point in my life where I thought that my life would be better than my death would be better than my life. Sorry for that opposite words, but still, I was standing at that point. I remember very precisely, few years ago, I actually had a knife in my hand and I was looking at my wrist and I was wondering that if I cut it now, my pain will go away. Even if it stays after death, it would be better than this life. That is the situation that leads you to suicide attempt. And that, my dear, where I have been. And that is why I'm here, because I survived that. I thought about it, I looked at it, and finally I decided there was no use. I could change the course of time. So can you, whoever is listening, Maham, or whoever joined, who didn't join, who would listen later on, all of you. Trust me, if I can do it, you can do it. If I can survive all that pain, you can survive all that pain. I have been through life a lot. There were ups and downs in my life, and trust me when I say this, no matter which idol do you have, no matter whosoever you think has a perfect life, they don't have it. Nobody has a perfect life. Everybody has something on their plate that they're hiding from the rest of their life. Even Nicki Minaj, or even Mayari, whoever, an actor, an actress, an influencer, a YouTuber, a TikToker, a star, a superstar, no matter who they are, everybody is going through something in their life. Your friends, your colleagues, even your family members. Nobody has a life full of roses. Everybody goes through difficulties in their life, and this is what the problem is. We talk about the good things a lot. We show the positive side so much that we make the negative side a stigma, a stain. We feel that if we talk about the real problem, it would be a stain on our life. If we show the world that we've been through some difficult times, the world will laugh at us. Because we have brought our community, our society to that point. We have brought ourselves to that point. We have actually dragged our society to this point that nobody wants to talk about the ugliness of it. Everybody is showing the beauty of it, and that is what making people more depressed. We come to Instagram and everybody seems to be very successful. Everybody seems to be doing something with their life. And most of the people who are the viewers, obviously, the whole world is not an influencer. There are influencers and then there are people who get influenced. So the people who are getting influenced actually feel that their life is worse, that they are useless, they are not doing anything with their life because influencers are doing so much. they look at their fellows, and their fellows have these posters up, these diagrams up, these beautiful pictures up, these beautiful angles up. So they feel, even we have standardized everything. We have standardized beauty. If a girl has big eyes and she has big lips, juicy pumpy lips, she's beautiful. If a girl has thin lips and she has somehow darker skin tone, she's not beautiful. How can you say that? God has made everyone beautiful. God has made everyone so freaking beautiful. Everyone is so beautiful. I mean, whenever I see an individual, a person, a being, all I can think of is that this person has so much beautiful features. Look at her eyes, look at her face, look at her lips, look at her personality. Some people have such beautiful personalities, but what we do wrong is that we start comparing to these models, to these somehow the statues of beauty, you know. They are actually promoting something which is not real. A size 0 is not real, and due to the trend of size 0, many people became bulimic, and there are still people who are becoming bulimic day by day, because we have standardized beauty as well. We have standardized a body figure as well. You have to be like this. There is so much pressure on the youth. There is so much pressure that suicide prevention inevitably is going up. And it has to, because suicide prevention is the only way. We have to prevent it. But how? On one hand, we're talking about suicide prevention. On the other hand, we are actually promoting it. How? Well, basically by social media. I'm sorry to say this. I'm saying this on a social media. I don't have any much followers, and I don't care about much followers. As I said before, that even if a single person gets inspired and changes their way of thinking and way of doing things, that's only thing that matter. If you are influenced by someone, okay, if you are influenced by someone, it's good, it's very good. These influencers are doing great job. They are putting so much effort. But if you are influenced by them, do search on them. Do some research. If they are doing something you can do, follow that. Do it. Do it yourself. If you are influenced by someone's beauty, learn to do makeup. Today, makeup is an art. You can change your facial looks. You can change the way you look. Your oval shape can be made round. Your round shape can be made oval with the help of makeup. You can achieve anything. So just do that. I've seen Japanese and Chinese makeup techniques, and they are so good in this. They have these narrow eyes, and with makeup they can have these huge eyes. They make their eyes huge. So why sit there and actually think about how imperfect you are when you can be perfect, right? Can get influenced by people who are real, who are talking about the real thing, what is actually real. The real is what's inside, what you are from inside, and that's what matters. Okay, let's go towards the comments. इस तरह के पेरेंट्स को कैसे समझा सकते हैं? इस तरह के पेरेंट्स को आप इस तरह के सेशंस में लाइए. इस तरह के पेरेंट्स को आप वो बातें सुनाइए जो लोग कर रहे हैं, जो अप्रोप्रिएट हैं. इस तरह के पेरेंट्स को एजुकेट करने की ज़रूरत होती है. द प्रॉब्लम इज दैट आवर पेरेंट्स आर नॉट एजुकेटेड. दे आर नॉट rightly educated. They are educated but not rightly educated. They do not know how to emphasize on the strength of their kids. They only know how to emphasize on the mannerism of their kids. I mean, हमारे यहाँ पेरेंट्स को ज़्यादा परेशानी इस बात की होती है कि लोग मेरे बच्चे के बारे में क्या सोचेंगे. बच्चा खुश है कि नहीं, that doesn't matter to them. We have to educate them कि बच्चा ज़िंदा रहेगा, खुश रहेगा तो ज़िंदा रहेगा, और ज़िंदा रहेगा तो दुनिया की बात आएगी ना. So it's very important for parents to understand this. Do not pressurize your children. I have 3 kids. I never pressurize them. If I want them to do something, I tell them what benefits they will have out of that thing. Even if we are talking about mannerism, I'd always tell them, do not do anything which you are not comfortable with doing. अगर आप कुछ ऐसा कर रहे हो, हमारे घर गेस्ट आए हैं और आपका कुछ खाने का मन कर रहा है जो मैंने बना के गेस्ट के सामने स्पेसिफिकली रखा है, आप ले सकते हो. देयर इज़ नो बैड मैनरिज्म इन दैट. They are in our house. It's our food. We are serving it, so you can have it. But these are the small changes that will take time. ठीक है, ये टाइम लेंगी. एंड ऑब्वियसली मैं बार बार जो सेशन करती हूँ या कभी कभी आके बोलती हूँ मीडिया पे, सोशल मीडिया को यूटिलाइज करती हूँ, तो so the reason for me utilizing this social media and for the reason for me to do this, for doing this, is that I feel it's an obligation on me, because somehow I'm sitting in a room. I cannot interact with many people in a day, but through these sessions I can interact with at least 5 to 6 people, and that's enough. I mean, even if I interact with one person, if he gets me or she gets me, that's enough for me. I don't care about the followers, I don't care about the fame, and if it comes, most welcome. If the money comes, most welcome. But if it does not come, that's not my motto. I don't worry about that. So about parents, you need to educate them, you need to make them listen to these words, these specific things that me and some other very legit people are talking about. Okay, Pakistan, Kelly Art, thank you for joining. Thank you for your comments. You said really great. Thank you so much. Keep it up. Thank you. Okay. Yes, ma'am. अगर किसी को अपनी प्रॉब्लम बताएं तो यही कहता तुम्हारा तो रोज़ का यही ड्रामा. Exactly. प्रॉब्लम यही है ना कि हम किसी को भी कोई प्रॉब्लम बताते हैं तो वो या तो उसको ड्रामा की कैटेगरी में डाल देते हैं या उसको कंपेयर करना शुरू कर देते हैं. सो दिस इज़ व्हाट द प्रॉब्लम एक्चुअली गेट्स वर्स. दिस इज़ वेयर द प्रॉब्लम गेट्स वर्स. देयर वाज अ टाइम इन माय लाइफ व्हेन आई सैट बैक and I thought about my life, and I thought about people who would be in my life, and I realized that किसी भी इंसान का सबसे बड़ा सगा वही होता है जो उसे शीशे में आईने में नज़र आ रहा होता है. Only you are your biggest support. Only you are your biggest friend, best friend. 12 साल की दोस्ती 2 पल में ख़त्म हो जाती है. 13 साल की 14 साल की दोस्ती 2 पल में ख़त्म हो जाती है. Even at times there comes a time when you get distant with your parents as well. But what matters most is your confidence on yourself. You can only prevent suicide by being there for your own self. And our youth needs to learn this. Unfortunately, our youth is the one that is the most vulnerable at this time. They are divided in different categories. There is a category who is so ambitious, so straightforward and so headstrong that only what they are seeing is their profit and how they can achieve it. And then there is a group that is so vulnerable and so weak at the same time that they don't know where to go from where they are standing. So as a person who's been there, as a person who has seen lots of difficulties and some really great amount of traumas, I say this today to all of you who are listening and who will listen and who might get a hint from this session, who might get something from this, so learn something from this, then learn this. If you want to learn something from this, learn this. Only you matter to yourself. And if nobody else think about you in that way, well, they can all go to, that doesn't matter, because at some point in your life they are going to leave, so their opinions will leave with them. Nobody's opinion should change the way you see yourself. See yourself only through your own eyes, and don't put another person's lens in front of that vision, because once you do that, life can be disastrous after that. As I said before, I'm saying it again, this is not a well-versed or this is not a practiced session. This is not a thought about session. This was something that actually came to me in the heap of a moment, and I thought that let's do this, because this is important. This is important to know that nobody's life is perfect, and that whatever you are suffering from will end, and it will be a new suffering. I'm not going to say that your life will be a better process suddenly. It will not. Your life will always have problems. Your life will always have troubles. And the good thing And the best thing to know is that all these troubles will be the ones that you can handle, because in Quran Allah says that we won't put such pressure on you that you cannot handle. So or any trouble that comes in your life, any trouble that is in your life, is something that you can handle, is something that you can cope with. All you need to do is be solution oriented. Always have your thinking strategy solution oriented. Once your strategy, once your thinking pattern becomes solution oriented, it is something that will benefit you in the long run. Even Maham, to you I would specifically say this, that always have faith in yourself. Always believe that you can achieve wonders, because everybody can do great in their own specific way. Everybody can achieve wonders in their life. Thank you Alia for joining. Thank you Arbaz Ali for joining, and all the others that joined recently. Today's session was about suicide prevention. Basically it was about suicide. How and when we come to a point where we think about suicide. And there was a small confession in the live session as well, and I don't think that it was a small matter, but yes, it was a small confession, because it is something that everybody goes through and nobody talks about it. And if we keep, you see, it's like that one pile of dust in the room that we hide beneath the carpet. If we keep hiding that dust beneath the carpet, it will never be clean. The pile will stay there beneath the carpet no matter what. The room might seem clean, but bacteria and viruses and germs will be gathering there in that pile. Same is the case with these issues. If we don't talk about these issues, mental health issues, traumas, stressful events, and suicidal thoughts, and bipolar or mood swings, if we don't talk about these issues, we're actually collecting that pile of dust beneath our carpet. And that does not mean that we're cleaning it. That does not mean that we're getting rid of the issue. We're actually creating more problems by staying quiet in this. And at the end of the day, it's very easy. It's very easy to pretend to be happy, to pretend that your life is perfect and everything is perfect. But it's very important to talk to someone about it once in a while, because if you keep piling it up within yourself, if you keep bottling up your emotions within yourself, one day you're gonna bust. And burst, when we talk about explosions, we talk about destructions. Explosions always lead to destructions. It's been 48 minutes, and I really didn't know I would go this long in this session. But still, the session was in English, because there are a lot of followers of mine who are from outer countries, who do not talk in Urdu, who are not good in Urdu language. So that is why I needed to do this session in English, because I have had complaints in the past about talking in Urdu all the time, and then I had complaints about talking in English. So I thought I'll go with the medium that I'm comfortable in, and I'm mostly comfortable in English medium more than Urdu medium, because somehow when I'm talking with Urdu, I add English words a lot, and that's something that I really am not proud of. I want to be as fluent in Urdu as I'm fluent in English, but somehow I make mistakes in both the languages, and that is the problem with being bilingual. Actually, I'm trilingual, because my mother is Punjabi, and I try to punch in Punjabi as well. I can understand Punjabi very well, but I am very weak in speaking in Punjabi. But the English is the only language that I feel very comfortable in, and I feel that I can go on and on about any topic in English, because I've been debater. I guess that's also one of the reasons. And English was a code language that me and my brother used to have in our home back in Atak. Me and my younger brother would talk in English with one another when we needed to share some secrets in front of the family. So this is a language that is dear to me as well. So that's why I thought that let's go with English. And oh yeah, people are gonna complain, no matter what. I mean, no matter how perfect you are, people are gonna complain. There are going to be haters, and I personally feel that haters are the one who actually promote you. Uh-huh. That's true. That's the reality, people. Haters actually promote you. The people who really admire you, like you, are inspired by you, are somehow, somewhere a little jealous from you, and they won't promote you the way a hater will do. And although he will be doing a lot of negative publicity, but in media they say any kind of publicity is good publicity. So that is why I don't talk about my haters, or don't talk specifically talk about people that I sometimes really want to talk about. Some people that are there in the market and are actually hiding behind big masks, and apparently are doing work for the society and actually are beneficial for only themselves. But I don't talk about them because I don't want to promote them. Simple as that. I mean, any publicity is good publicity, right? So other than that, it's been a good session. I really enjoyed talking to you people, and although in the live session there were very few people, but I am sure that once I end this session, there are going to be more people who would see this session later on. And sometimes I feel like Manto, sometimes I feel like Manto, sometimes I feel like Asmat, sometimes I feel like one of those people who don't actually get recognized in their lives, but but they have so much potential that they get recognized later on, once they demise, or later on in their later life, in their late years. So I feel kind of connected to those people. I feel kind of connected like that. But a lot of people tell me that they're inspired by me, and a lot of people tell me that they understand me more than other people, and that they are following my different suggestions, and that they are following what I told them to do. They're doing that, and they are actually pretty successful, getting pretty successful in their lives, and that's what matters. I mean, at the end of the day, if you are able to change a single person's life, if you're able to change the thinking pattern, that cognitive uh, train of a single person, if you're able to change that, that is what makes you successful. It doesn't matter it's just better. It's better to have numbers in thousands. It's better to have numbers in millions. But then again, even if a single person is changing because of you, a whole family is changing because of you, because that single person is going to make a family out of them one day, and that family will be influenced by you because that single person is influenced by you. So in that context, in that scenario, it's very important for everyone to play their part. It's very important for everyone to try to do something. If you can't do anything by force, if you can't do anything on a large scale, then try doing it on the scale you are comfortable at, or try doing it on the scale you can at that particular time. So when you are trying to do it at that particular time, that's enough. I think that's important, and that's how life is. And thank you, Khalid, for being there for me. If you want to add anything, Maham, I am waiting for your yeah, you didn't have. Okay, I'm waiting for your response if you want to say anything at the end of the session, because you've been commenting alongside, and it has been a pleasure listening to you. And as you said, your comment is it was a great and informative session. Thank you so much, Maham. And Walid has joined. Thank you, Walid, for joining. And thank you everyone who joined in between, who stayed, who went. Um, Thank you anyone who sees later on. Remember, suicide is a very important topic. Mental health is a very important topic. Ending stigmas is very important. Ending stereotypes is very important. And we can do it. I can do it, you can do it. Step by step. We can try to change the thinking pattern of people. And while we're at it, we're actually changing the society. When one person changes, a family within a society changes. And when a family within a society changes, that changes a whole scenario. So, Maham, talk to your parents, tell such parents who are stubborn, who really think about society first before their kids. It's important for them to know that society is not important. No one is important. As a matter of fact, I'm a mother. I'm a mother of 3 kids. If you ask me, my kids are more important than any person on this land, on this earth. There was once a time that I also worried about other things, other people, but that was a mistake, and I learned it very quickly. At a time, Alhamdulillah, that no harm was done. Before any harm could be done, I've been lucky in that sense. Alhamdulillah, Allah has been always with me, and He's always helped me through thick and thin, and He has always helped me. Before I could fall, even before I could trip, He had held me, and that has been the luckiest most part in my life. Other than that, I've also had ups and downs. सो कमेंट मैम बहुत अच्छा लगा, थैंक यू मैम। मैंने काफ़ी दफ़ा कोशिश की बट बिकम हार्श ऑन मी। इट्स ओके मैम, इट टेक्स टाइम बच्चा, इट टेक्स टाइम बिकॉज द as I said earlier, the thinking patterns are so rigid in our society. You know, they are so much in our roots. It's in our roots to think in that certain way. As I told you, we always get compared, you know. हम जब बच्चे होते हैं ना तो हमें कंपेयर किया जाता है। हमारे पेरेंट्स ने हमें कंपेयर किया क्योंकि उनके पेरेंट्स ने उनको कंपेयर किया था, और उनके पेरेंट्स ने उनको कंपेयर किया था, और हर जनरेशन इसी तरह वही रूट्स लेकर आगे आई। हमारे पेरेंट्स हमारे साथ सख्त क्यों हैं? क्योंकि उनके पेरेंट्स एक टाइम पे उनके साथ बहुत सख्त थे। उनको जो सिखाया गया वही वो आगे हमें सिखाते और समझाते हैं, जो उन्होंने सीखा। इसी तरह है कि जिस तरह हम कहते हैं ना कि एक डॉक्टर है तो वो अपने बच्चों को डॉक्टर ही बनाता है, क्योंकि उसने वही लाइन ऑफ एक्शन सीखा है, वही लाइन को वो जानता है, वही चीज़ें वो जानता है। सो वी टीच व्हाट वी नो, राइट? जो हमारे पास है वही हम देते हैं। इफ़ वी हैव हैप्पीनेस, वी विल गिव हैप्पीनेस टू द वर्ल्ड। इफ़ वी हैव ब्रुटैलिटी विद इन अस, we will be brutal with the world. If we have learned to be loving and caring, we will give love and care. If we have taken love and care, if we have taken criticism and comparison all our lives, this is what we are going to give others. Because this is something, जब आप किसी चीज़ से, when you become full of something, you start giving out that thing. It's like, look at me, I'm full of words, I'm full of topics, I'm full of knowledge that I want to share with the world. That's why I come on these platforms from time to time, to share it out, because I get so full of it that I feel that I'm going to burst if I don't. So at that time, what I do is I come on a social media, whether it's TikTok, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Facebook, or whether it's Instagram. I just come and I just start, because I feel that this is the point where I need to talk, because this is the point where something needs to be done, and I want to be a part of it. Tomorrow, I want to say with proud that I have changed this person's life, even if it's a single person. Doesn't matter. I've changed their life, because my life has been changed by me. There was no one standing by me. So I wish and I take pride in standing by others, because somehow there are two types of people. One who achieve things on their own and they feel that others need to suffer as well because they have suffered. And then there are the others who feel like others don't need to suffer the way they have suffered. They feel protective about others because they have suffered so much solely, singly, alone, that they don't want others to be alone. And I'm from these people. I'm from this type of people. I don't want others to suffer alone because I have suffered alone. So I try to be there for people. I try that nobody suffers in silence or in loneliness or staying the way they are. There are so many people who are lucky enough to have people by them, you know, supporting parents or supporting partners or supporting brothers, siblings, or supporting someone who supporting them. And then there are others who are supporting themselves, who have learned it the hard way, that at the end of the day, your support for you matters the most. And for those type of people, they know the importance of someone standing by them. They know the importance of the of another person being by you. They know the importance of that support, and that is why they try to give out that support. And I'm from those people. I try to give out that support. I try to be there for people when I feel that there was no one for me. ऐसे नहीं सोचते हैं हम आपको आपके साथ मैं खड़ी हूँ, आई एम देयर, एंड देन अगेन एज आई सेड इन द स्टार्ट कि हमें अपने साथ खुद खड़ा होना चाहिए. I had no one to support me, but there comes a point where we have to be strong enough to support ourselves. देखो बच्चा, everyone will eventually leave, ठीक है? Either they will, God forbid, I'm not being harsh here, but either they will die or they will leave you out. You will get separated from them, one way or the other. Some people leave the country and they get distant from others like that. Some people just lose their loved ones to death, and some people are they just have so many people around them, and yet they are so lonely because they have so many people around them, but nobody really knows them, nobody really understands them. They have this whole world standing with them, but still they can be alone, they can be feeling lonely because they feel that they do not actually or truly connect with anyone who is rounding them up. So it's very important to be there for yourself. अपनी सबसे बड़ी support बनिए. You need to be your own biggest support. You need to be your own bestest friend. अपनी सबसे अच्छी दोस्त बन जाइए. And there are so many ways to do that. Start writing journals. I tell this to everyone. It's very important that you write journals. It's very important that you have an emotion diary with you. Now, what is emotion diary? It's a kind of a journal. It's a kind of a diary in which you report your emotions. You write about your emotions, what you're feeling right now, what can be the possible reason of your emotion or of that moment. For example, I'm happy, then why am I happy? Or if I'm feeling sad, then there must be a reason for me to be sad. So why I'm feeling sad? And that will help you a lot. Write in your diary the way you talk to a person. Like I used to write diary and I still write diary, and I write it like that. Dear diary, how have you been? I've been good. This is what has happened to me previously. So this is how you actually communicate with your own self. You're actually communicating with your own self through like that, and that's a coping mechanism. And everybody needs a coping mechanism once in a while. Anyways, so this is all from me, and 1 hour has passed, and I feel that no time has passed. It seems like that. If I had made flyers, and if I had distributed those flyers, and if I had told people that I was going to do this, I would have had a lot of more audience. But the thing is that, as I said in the start, that this was a random decision, and this was on the point hype of the moment kind of a decision. So that is why the flyer was not shared previously. And thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much that joined previously. Thank you so much that joined later on. And thank you for this support that you people give me. And do remember that we are our own biggest support. Everybody leaves. No matter who they are, they always leave. Either by death or by distance. People leave. You matter most to your own life. And you should be there for yourself no matter what. Always support yourself. Always hang in there. Always be there for yourself no matter what. Pat your back whenever you do something good. Scold yourself whenever you feel that you have let yourself down. And keep a track of your emotions. Keep a track of what you are feeling, what you felt, and how far have you come from the person you were even yesterday. Because we are evolutionary beings. We evolve every day. We change every day. I'm slightly a different person from the person I was yesterday. Same goes for you people. Everybody changes every day. So keep a track and be proud of yourself. You are a fighter. You are a survivor. You've survived this long. You came this long. You can go further. You can achieve further. All you have to do is have faith in yourself. Thank you, M. Malik, for joining. I'm honored. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. and an hour has passed, and the recording will be there on my Instagram, and I will also share it on my YouTube channel if anybody wants to have a look at it afterwards, because there are some very important points that we discussed today. And again, at the end of the day, I will summon it up like this: that always be there for yourself, support yourself, keep a journal, keep a diary, keep your emotions tracked. It's very important to keep your emotions tracked. What are you feeling, why are you feeling it, and always talk to someone. If you feel that you don't have that support in your friends and family, and nobody would understand you in your friends and family, then talk to a therapist. It's very normal, it's very okay to talk to a therapist. It's like going to an ENT specialist when you have throat infection, or it's like going to a surgeon when you feel that there is something wrong with your leg. So it's just like that. Going to a therapist is very normal thing. It does not mean that you have some mental issue. It's very normal. If you feel that nobody in your friends and family circle will understand your problem, go to a therapist. They will keep your problem a secret. Confidentiality rules are followed by a therapist, so your secrets will be safe, and you will have that burden out of your way, and you will feel lighter, healthier, and happier. So always remember me in your prayers, and thank you so much for joining. Allah Hafiz.